Good evening, everyone listening on 105.5 WYPN and to our audience here at what I was always referred to it as Central High School. This is where I spent 1 year here anyway before the new high school was built. My name is John Malone, and Laura Scripps is also with us. She's the general manager and editor of the Elk Valley Times, and Laura's been doing last-minute work. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks to all of you for coming out. I think we have a pretty good crowd for something like this on a Thursday night, and it is hot out there. So thank you all for coming out. I hope y'all learn a little bit tonight, and what we want to do is just do a public service for the community, give y'all an opportunity to meet some of these guys that you may not know.
And I want to thank Laura and her team at the Elk Valley Times because they do a great job of covering all issues in our county, and we are blessed to have a local newspaper. A lot of communities don't have a local newspaper. Huntsville, for instance, does not have a newspaper. It's really a shame, but we have a good one here, and Laura and her team are making it even better. So I want to thank all of them. I want to thank our team, Brian Neese from the Ryan Tracy Morning Show. He's going to be out here in a minute to lead us in prayer and the pledge. We also have Risa Beasley, who is the newest member of the Elk River Media team. She's here tonight. Alex Coletti is running things back at the station to make sure that we stay on the air. And we have the Neese crew back here helping us as well. So I appreciate all of my team and all of their hard work. Brian, if you don't mind, come on out right now and please lead us in the pledge and our prayer.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we just come to you tonight recognizing who you are, that you are the one true holy God. And Lord, we come to you and say thank you for allowing us to be here tonight, Lord. We pray that you would just meet with us here in this place tonight. Pray that you would just be with each candidate, Lord. We pray for clear minds tonight, Lord, as they speak. And Lord, that you would just give them the clear conscience tonight, Lord, as they share what they have to share with us tonight, Lord. We thank you for their willingness to serve in these capacities. And we thank you for that, Lord. We thank you for their families, Lord. We know that this isn't easy on their families. And Lord, so we pray for them too tonight. Lord, we thank you for the ones who have worked so hard on this, Lord. We just pray that whatever is said tonight, at the end, Lord, it would just bring honor and glory to your name. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Be seated.
Thank you, Brian. You can hear Brian on the Brian and Tracy Morning Show, Monday through Saturday mornings on WYPN. I'm glad tonight to have a moderator who is a veteran news anchor and news reporter. He's one of my favorites. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. Greg and I have worked together. I've admired his work for years, and he is one of the lead anchors at WHNT News 19. Little about Greg. I don't really need this, but I'm going to use it anyway because I don't want to forget anything. Greg's been at WHNT since 2006, but he's been in North Alabama since 1997. He is a native of Hartselle, Alabama, proud native of Hartselle. Is a graduate of the University of Alabama, Roll Tide. He has what kind of response I got on that? He has two grandsons in Tuscaloosa. He currently anchors the 4 p.m. and 6:30 newscast on WHNT. He MCs community events, works on various efforts in the community. He's happy to be here. He's also a pretty good stand-up comedian. I hope we can maybe get him up here sometime to do his act for us. Now, since we're in Fayetteville, Greg wants to be sure that we point out that his girlfriend Gina is a Tennessee fan, and they get along fine during football season, and he'll bring that skill to tonight's forum here in Big Orange Country. So there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Scrooge from WHNT.
How are y'all doing? One thing, before we get going, and I'll run through the kind of rules and the guidelines here. And by the way, Laura was right. Great turnout for a Thursday night when it's 100 degrees outside. I do want to say though, we need to think of somebody right now who is really, what the work he did is really important to us all. And let's just give the guy, whoever invented air conditioning. Oh, I'm telling you what, this heat's amazing, and we just got to be careful. I know we joke about it all the time. I'm happy to be here. I was telling Laura, I'm really happy to be here. I enjoy getting out. I enjoy meeting people. I've met a lot of people here, and I hope we get to visit some when tonight's event's over. This is a candidate forum. It's not a debate. A forum and a debate, two different things. This is a forum. Candidates will be given the opportunity to share a little about themselves and their position in regards to the office they are seeking election. The order of questions for the candidates are luck of the draw. Each candidate drew a number before starting that will decide the order to which they will answer the questions. Each candidate will be given 2 minutes for opening remarks, which could include background information and why they're seeking office, and that's before the questions begin. So during the question portion, a question will be asked. Each candidate will have 90 seconds, minute 30 seconds to answer the question. The person who answers the question first will be given 30 seconds for a rebuttal. Time will be kept. However, candidates may finish their train of thought, but they must finish after no more than 10 additional seconds. And we have a timer backstage, I think. I don't know if it's queued up. We got it. See how it sounds? They'll do it for me here in a second. It's coming, but we have time. There you go. And folks are familiar with that sound. The forum is being held as a public service to the citizens of Lincoln County. We ask candidates to be respectful of each other in the time allotted. If any candidate chooses to be disrespectful, the microphones can be turned off, and if it continues, the candidate will be asked to leave or will be escorted from the auditorium. So let's have some respect for one another. As an audience member, you're probably in attendance to support somebody on this stage, or you're interested and you are concerned as a citizen. So we ask that audience members be respectful of each candidate's answer and the time they've been given. So hold your applause and your reaction until all candidates have finished answering their question. I want to repeat that for emphasis. Hold your applause or reaction until the candidates have finished answering their questions. And I think we're about ready to get going. So the first race we're going to deal with tonight is the Lincoln County Sheriff's race. So if the two candidates can come up that are here. The candidates are Joyce McConnell and Tall Malone, so they're going to come up. And again, we've got steps on either side, so please be careful. So when we had the drawing for the number, Tall Malone will be number 1, Joyce McConnell will be number 2. So each candidate gets 2 minutes on the introduction. And so candidate 2 is going first. Joyce McConnell goes first.
Okay. First of all, thank everybody for being here tonight. I thank you, Mr. Screws and Laura, and all of them for putting this on tonight and giving myself and Toll a chance to kind of tell us a little bit about ourselves. I have been with the Sheriff's Department going on 32 years. I started as a correction officer. I was promoted to a deputy sheriff, being the first woman deputy to be deputy sheriff. I was promoted to an investigator, captain over investigations, and then promoted to chief deputy, and now I'm in the position as interim sheriff. You don't go into law enforcement, and you especially don't stay in law enforcement for the salary, for the pay. You stay in it because you love the community and you love the people that you're working for. And that's why I've stayed this long. I have served my country. I have served as county commission for several years. And I have been at the Sheriff's Department almost half of my life. So thank you for allowing us to be up here tonight to tell us a little bit about, to tell you a little bit about ourselves. Thank you.
Tall.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming tonight. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. My name's Tall Malone. I'm a lifelong resident of Lincoln County. I've lived here every day of my life and will live here every day the rest of my life. I've spent the majority of my adult career working for the Lincoln County Sheriff's Department. I started in my early 20s. as a reserve member, or it used to be called the Lincoln County Sheriff's Posse. I volunteered for a few years there until I was afforded the opportunity to become a deputy sheriff under Sheriff Mullins. I started with him, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. And as Joyce said, it's not for the money, because it definitely puts strains on families to do what we do, for the amount of money we get paid. But we do it because we love it. We do it because we love our home, and we love the people that are in it. I've loved them every day I've been here, and I love them every day I've got left on this earth. I have a desire to serve more than anything else, and to serve the people of Lincoln County. I have worked as a road deputy, I've worked as a posse member, I have worked as K-9, narcotics, and as a frontline supervisor for the last decade. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you. I thank you for coming here. I thank Mr. Cruz for moderating this, and I look forward to a good election. Thank you.
So first question for candidate one, and that would be Tom Malone. So what do you think is the number one thing that needs to change at the Sheriff's Department, and how would you change it? Again, this is a minute and 30 seconds.
Motivation. Glad to be there. Proud to serve the people. It's been there. It can be there again. Under my direction, I'll promote, motivate, and direct them in that manner that serves the people of Lincoln County in a positive light. Thanks, sir.
Joyce McConnell.
Would you repeat the question?
Yes. What do you think is the number one thing that needs to change at the Sheriff's Department, and how would you change it?
I think there are some policies that we still need to change and that we're working on. I think we need to change the climate of the Sheriff's Department. There's no doubt that we have been put in a precarious position with 3 of us that work for the Sheriff's Department that are in this race. It has been hard. It's been difficult on everybody that's been there. My intention was for each of us to put our platform out there and just to let the people decide. I had told people just stay neutral, just do your job, and let the people decide, and they can vote forever how they want to vote. That has ended up not happening, and I really hate that. So I think what needs to change is that when I win this election, we need to regroup, and we need to all have a great discussion and move on and heal from this election and move forward.
So you have 30 seconds on rebuttal.
I agree, it's a unique position with 3 people that have long standing in the Lincoln County Sheriff's Department. We're all friends, we all love each other. This is a difficult situation we're in. I look forward after this election's over with and I'm elected sheriff, all of us shaking hands, loving each other like we do and like we can, and moving forward and serving the people of Lincoln County.
Second question, we'll start with Joyce McConnell on this. Many believe it's the duty of the Sheriff's Department to build and maintain community trust. What will you do to improve trust and transparency with the community, including media relations, when it comes to the Sheriff's Department?
Yes, I think our department has done a great job with interacting and engaging with the community. As a matter of fact, one of the things that I've done since being interim sheriff is we have had a Citizens Academy. We had 20 that went through several weeks of training, and what they did was they learned what we do at the Sheriff's Department and why we do what we do at the Sheriff's Department. We are engaging more and more out with the communities. We need to do more town meetings. We need to go to these communities and hear their issues, hear their concerns, and even hear their suggestions for our department.
Tom Malone.
Thank you. Yes, transparency is one thing that I've talked about in my group. We have talked about it extensively. One of the things I will institute as a PIO, which is a public information officer. I will use social media. Today's generation, that's how they receive their news. That's how they receive their information. And that's the best way to be transparent with this generation that we have now. I've learned some things through social media, such as the American Sheriff, Sheriff Lamb. He has Fridays with Frank. He does ride-alongs with his deputies. He videos it. He displays it. Hey, we could have Tuesdays with Toll. Use the local media, local radio, the newspaper. Those are things that I've looked at, talked about, to keep the community informed and be transparent. Let them know what our call volumes are. Thank you.
30 seconds, Joyce McConnell.
Yes, I agree with Tom on all of those things. I just think that we need to be more involved in our community. We need to listen to them. We do have social media. We have our sheriff's website page that we have. So definitely social media. Now, I'm not a social media person. I'm not Facebook savvy, but that is today's society. So we are doing that. We're trying to be more engaging with our people and put everything on our website that we can.
Next question for candidate one, as we told one. Law enforcement departments across the country, across the state, deal with retention issues and turnover. How do you plan to address retention within the department?
Motivate them, direct them, make them feel welcome to be there. Engage with them every day. Let them know that you care about them. Let them know that this is a place to work and the people to serve. Let them see your enjoyment, your excitement about doing it. Be a positive influence in their life. Greet them every day. Talk to them. Be there for them when they need you. Those are the things that will help with retention. It's not all about money. It's all about respect and showing the people that you care.
Joyce McConnell.
Yes, we do have to motivate our people. I have and will continue to strive to get a better salary for our officers. I think that law enforcement this day and time is underappreciated. We definitely need to try to get the salaries raised. But again, it is not about the salary. It's about the love of people. Deputies and people don't serve this community for the money. They do it because they love the people and they love what they do. We have had great success with the retention of police officers. We are fully staffed right now. We are, I think, almost fully staffed with correction officers. So, and one of the things that I've done is try to give people initiative and some incentive is to try to get them their birthday off, just as an extra incentive to show that we appreciate them.
The next question, we'll start with Joyce McConnell. Law enforcement departments also face budget cuts and financial constraints. How will you approach budget cuts and those financial constraints? What would be your plan to deal with that?
Okay, first of all, within 30 days of me being as interim sheriff, I restructured the department a little bit, and I was able to give back the county taxpayers $100,000 back. I believe in being a good steward of the people's money. Lincoln County Sheriff's Department is the second largest department in Lincoln County government, only second to the Department of Education. We have a huge budget to maintain. And so I have restructured, I have tried to save, I've changed a policy that saved $8,000 off of buying Narcan for the officers and for the citizens in this county. So every decision that we make, we're always considering the people, the taxpayers. We're trying to do things to use recidivism in our jail, because every time we have some inmate come back to jail, we have to pay for that inmate. Medical, food, all of those things. So, you know, you have to be very, very mindful of spending so much money, and some things are necessary, some things we have to do.
Tom.
Yes, thank you. You have to look at the budget line item by line item. You have to analyze each line and be as effective and efficient as you can. If you do that, you will see at the end of the year, you will be able to return money to the taxpayers. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Department is an MOE department, which is maintenance of effort. You're guaranteed that same budget every year, but that does not mean you have to spend it. You have to be conservative. You have to look at it line item by line item and use it as efficient and effective as you can to accomplish the job you're trying to accomplish and not sacrifice the safety of the citizens and the children of this county.
Joyce McConnell, 30 seconds on rebuttal.
Yes, it's a very delicate balance. You certainly don't want to deprive your officers of training or equipment or anything that they may need to protect this county. But you also have to go by, like you said, line item by line item. And you know, you cannot overspend that money because you're affecting the taxpayers. You know, what I did within my first time going to the budget committee is we saved the county taxpayers a nickel on that property tax rate that everybody was dreading for the county commission.
All right, final question for the sheriff's candidates, and this is, we're going to bear down a little bit more on something you both alluded to. This is for candidate one, Tom Malone. With multiple candidates running for the sheriff's seat currently working within the department, the elected sheriff could face a divided department after the election. So how do you plan to address a potentially divided department after the election? Tom.
Sir, you have to tell everybody and let them understand that you love and care for them. You truly do. This is a difficult time. This is a unique situation that it's the first in my lifetime that I've seen in this county. There's 3 members of the department that are long-standing, that are serving the department, that have worked together each and every day for decades. It's difficult. When this election's over with, I plan to address each and every one of them, whether they side with me or not, that I love them, I care for them, and I respect them. And we're going to be a family, and we're going to heal this wound and move on. We're going to represent the people in Lincoln County.
Joyce McConnell.
Yes, I've been through 5 different administrations, 5 different sheriffs, and this is the first time, I think, that we've ever had 3 people within the same department run. In those 5 administrations, I remember walking on eggshells, so to speak, worried about speaking to one or the other, afraid someone would think you were plotting against them. I understand the conflict that our officers are going through right now. I understand it's a difficult decision that they've got to make, and who they support and who they don't. But after this election, whether I win or whether I don't, I will always love and respect every officer with our department, and we will also sit down, have an honest discussion. We're all professionals, we're all adults, and we will get through this either way it goes, whether Tull wins or whether I do. Our department has great officers, and they will continue to do their job no matter who's sheriff.
Tull, 30 seconds on rebuttal.
Thank you. Yes, I agree. I will sit down with everybody individually, person by person, and we'll discuss it. And we'll come together as a group and discuss it. It's unique to me, it's unique to them, it's unique to this community. We have to handle it in a polite, professional way and show respect and love to each other, and that's what I plan to do.
And that's all the questions. So we have closing remarks now. Each candidate on the closing remarks gets 90 seconds, and we're going to begin that with Joyce McConnell.
Okay, thank you. When I started at the Sheriff's Department back in 1992, I had no idea of where I would be today. When I started, almost from day one, I had to prove myself. I was a female in a man's world, and I had no problem doing that. I have done that ever since that I have been with every position. I was just not given these positions, I earned them. And I worked hard to get them. Nothing was handed to me. I worked hard all my life. I just want the people to know that I love people of Lincoln County. I have always been there to serve. Some of my biggest accomplishments to me was investigating child abuse cases and finding justice for the victims. I have been so close and gotten personal with a lot of the child victims. It has been hard in some of the cases that I've had, but you know, the kids needed somebody, they needed a voice, and I was that voice. And so I have been proud to be at the Sheriff's Department. If I don't get it, it's been a great ride, and I just want everybody to appreciate everybody that has taken the time to come to me, to support me, and to support the Lincoln County Sheriff's Department.
Tom Malone.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight. I started over 2 decades ago with the Lincoln County Sheriff's Department. I started as a mid-20-year-old man with a very young family. I had to work hard. We had to struggle for me to continue in this job. I'm blessed that I have an amazing wife, 2 amazing children, 2 amazing grandchildren. I work every day out in the community with my boots on the ground, my finger on the pulse of what's going on in this county. I will continue to do that as sheriff. I will be out with the men and women of the department. That's me, that's what I do. I have a team put together, ready to go, and I look forward to serving each and every one of you in Lincoln County, and I love Lincoln County, my home. Thank you.
And these are your sheriff's race candidates. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Joyce. So we're going to take a couple of minutes to reset. You need to stretch your legs for a minute as we get ready for the next round. So just chill for just a second. We'll be right back with you. We'll get going. One thing I will do is, you know, when you see TV crews and you see me, if you see me out on a story and you see, I know Jerry was here last year. You see Jerry out on the story. There's always a guy who's the one that's actually doing the work. That's carrying the camera and the tripod and the lights and all that. Well, we have our own version of that. Vince Byers is here tonight, Affinity Media, videographer. The video of what we're doing here. Yeah, give him a hand, absolutely. The video of what we're doing here tonight will be at elkvalleytimes.com and also at 1055 WYTM.com. And the goal is to have that up tomorrow morning. So the next race we're going to do is for the property assessor. We have two candidates for that. George Hope, who is here, Tammy Painter, who is not here. And we do want to say the reason Tammy is not here is, from what we understand, there is a grandbaby that is about to show up and make its presence in the world. So all prayers with her and her family, hoping everything goes super smooth. So George Hope is here, and we'd like to start with George. George, you have 2 minutes for an introduction to say what you want to say in the way of an introduction.
My name is George Hope, C-H-O-C-H. You've seen on all the signs out there. If you did not pronounce it, it's Hope. But if you got it wrong, you're not going to hurt my feelings because I've heard it all during my life. So, but it is Hope, and I've answered a hot, out, anything. So get it closed, and I'm okay with it. First, I'd like to thank the Elk Times, Elk River Media, Mr. Screws here, Greg Screws, and 1055 YTM for putting this on. I think it's a great forum, and I appreciate being here. My family bought property in the Hot Rock area of Lincoln County, West Lincoln County, over 50 years ago. My ownership in part of it took place about 30 years ago, a little over 30 years ago. For the past 30 years, I've worked in the state of Tennessee Division of Property Assessments. And before that, I worked in properties in Alabama, Arkansas, Ohio, Texas, Missouri, Florida, Nebraska, and Mississippi. All of those properties during all this time has been for property tax valuation purposes. In Tennessee, I attained the Tennessee Certified Assessor designation and the Tennessee Master Associate designation. Tennessee Certified Master designation. Most of the work in Tennessee is pertaining to commercial and industrial properties. These properties usually involve the cost approach, income approach, and the market approach. Over the years, I've worked on over 40 reappraisals in 15 counties. In Lincoln County, I worked part of the 1995 reappraisal. I worked all the properties, all the commercial industrial properties in Lincoln County for 2001, 2007, 2013. I did not work the 2019 or 2024 reappraisals. I handled most of them from the beginning all the way through, and I didn't know it was 2 minutes so fast.
It goes quick.
Yeah, well, in the last 6 years of my time, I was taking the state appeals coordinator, and all those appeals involved the county and the state participation. I never shied away from my responsibility. Should I be fortunate enough to become the next Lincoln County property assessor, I will do the same here, and I look forward to it. I appreciate the opportunity.
Okay, first question is, what is the process you use to approve or decline a request for a reduction in the assessed value of a property? And you have 90 seconds for that.
The process is value. You know, it doesn't matter to me whether I'm going to hold the line or change it. It's the value. It's the cost, market, and income approach indicators that tell me what the value of the property is. I've been doing this long enough to where I'm not going to shy away from backing off the property, and I'm, you know, if I think the value's right, I'm going to carry it forward. But it's all about the characteristics of the subject property and the comparables that tell me what the value of the property should be. So that's my intention, and that's what I'd like to implement. And, you know, I'm going to be fair. I'm going to be fair. I'm going to list all the facts and use those to rule what I do.
And so George, for closing, you have 90 seconds to close tonight for your part in trying to win this office.
Sure. During the past couple of months, I've been walking the neighborhoods in Lincoln County. It feels like thousands of neighborhoods, thousands of doors I've knocked on, and it probably has been, you know, at least in the 2,000 range. And it's been hot out there, but the biggest degree that I've gotten out is not the 100-degree weather, but is the degree of concern from the local people. There's an undercurrent of dissatisfaction, and it goes from here all the way up to Washington. And the only thing I can do is work on the solution here locally, and I plan on doing that. August 1st is the election day. August 1st is also the filing deadline for state appeals to the State Board of Equalization. Those include the farms, the houses, and the vacant land tracts that are, you know, problems for the owners of those properties. But it also includes, there's a firm in Memphis that handles Walmart and Walgreens. They're going to appeal. There's a company, there's a man I know of that's probably going to appeal one or both shopping centers on both sides of Walmart. There's a low-income housing tax credit properties. There's 4 of them here in Lincoln County. 1, maybe 2 of those are going to appeal. There's going to be some industrial properties that are going to appeal. There's going to be $20 or $30 million worth of property out there that are going to be under appeal. We need an assessor who can handle the income cost market approach before judges and speak their language. And should I be fortunate enough to be that assessor, we need an appraiser as an assessor.
Very good, thank you, sir. And again, if you'd like to applaud, now's the time to applaud. And again, like last time, give us a second. We're going to reset because we have other candidates that have to come up. So just 1 second, we'll be right back with you. And welcome back into the candidate forum. And if you're wondering what we're doing during those breaks, we're selling advertising time. So this is a break. So we're live here. A lot of folks may know we're live here. So it's one of the reasons we're taking breaks. Round 3, Lincoln County School Board races. This is the District 2 School Board race. Raymond Shields, Stephen Miller, Kevin Posey, the candidates there. Raymond Shields is here tonight. And Mr. Shields, you get 2 minutes on the introduction.
All right, well, thank you, Greg. I'd like to thank you for having me up here. I'd like to thank the Elk Valley Times and YTM for putting us out there. All right, so my name is Ray Shields. My mother would call me Raymond when she was mad, so if you're mad at me, call me Raymond, I suppose. All right, I hail from a small town, a dirt farm town called Lecanto in Florida. It's in West Central Florida. For me, school was rather normal. I was a musician through school. I did rather well with that. I graduated high school in my last 2 weeks of my 16th year, so I graduated early. I obtained a scholarship to go to a 2-year junior college with the opportunity for the next 2 years at a state university. What happened was I went to that college and learned that more musicians graduate every year than all jobs in the United States there are for those graduates. So I decided what's best for me was to continue doing what I thought I needed to do, and that was to serve. So I went into the military. I joined the United States Navy. I served for 21 years. I did well for myself as an individual, but did even better, I think, for those who were assigned to me, made sure they were successful, gave them awards and rewards for the things that they were able to do and made me look better. I was well known as an educator. I was always called to serve on training teams, like damage control training teams in the military, first aid training, and general military knowledge, and especially medical specific advancement training for a lot of our folks who worked with me at the hospitals and the float units that I was with. I saw hundreds of them get promoted. I was I was actually super active with my music and became ordained as a deacon over at a Baptist church in San Diego. And I retired in late 2004 in San Diego. I looked to be me, and my time is up, so I think I should.
Yeah, it goes quick, 2 minutes goes quick. So your question here, is there a particular issue within the Lincoln County school system that motivates you to serve on the Board of Education? What is that issue? Why is it so important to you? And you get 90 seconds for this.
All right. Well, I believe that our board is not exactly broken. I believe that we may be going over the years as the nation moves towards a little stranger ways of doing business in schools. I believe that we need to stick to the basics of teaching, and we need to look at what we're teaching them. We need to make sure that our teachers are well taken care of. They should be given what they need to teach our students here in Lincoln County. And the students, they additionally need to be taught exactly what needs to be taught to them. Things that are moral in nature or personal in nature, that's for the home. Parents and those at home should be teaching that, and I don't believe that the first thing that we should go to is, if the parents may or may not do that, I don't believe that they need to be, the first option is not to teach it from the teachers in our schools. Also, we need to look at our transparency. Having sat on some of I haven't sat on any of those boards, the meetings normally contradict with my American Legion meetings that we have on the first Monday of every month. I think our transparency is waning. We need to ensure that when people come and speak to the board, that there is some modicum of acknowledgement. I don't believe I've seen much of that. It's pretty much, it seems like it's kind of deaf ears. There's no interactions.
And with you being the only candidate up here, you get to do closing remarks for another 90 seconds.
Very good, thank you. All right, so I've had a long career of leadership and developing people. I've sat on and chaired several boards and committees while in the military and beyond. I have a strong desire to see our community's youth get a proper education. Social programs need to stay out. Morals and personal issues need to be handled by parents and their families. In the absence of that, teaching should not be our first line of defense from that. There's other things that we can do, and we can. I hope to have the opportunity to bring some of those options forward. With me serving on this board, you can be assured that I won't budge from any of those principles, and that I said I would certainly appreciate your vote for me and to serve as your District 2 school board member. Thank you.
And that's Mr. Shields. Thank you very much, Mr. Shields. And we're going to take a bit of a break here, I think. And next up, we're going to do District 4. That is Jimmy Daniel and Johnny Collins. I believe Mr. Daniel is here, and you can make your way down here. I believe he's here. There he is. And if Mr. Collins is here, come on down front. Now, give us a second here. We'll regroup, and we'll be right back with you. Welcome back in, and now we're doing the District 4 School Board. The candidates are Jimmy Daniel and Johnny Collins, and Jimmy Daniel is here. Mr. Daniel, before we get to the question, you have 2 minutes in the way of an introduction.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jimmy Daniel, and I'm a candidate for the Lincoln County School Board for the 4th District. I would like to thank everyone, the public, for attending tonight's forum, and I would also like to recognize the Elk Valley Times, Elk River Media, and YTM for hosting the forum tonight, and a special thank you to Mr. Scrooge for being the moderator. So why am I seeking a position on the school board? I am blessed to be a lifelong resident of Lincoln County and to have attended and graduated from our public school system. And I wanted my grandchildren to have the same educational opportunities that myself and my children experienced. When I first campaigned for the school board 4 years ago, I went door to door in the 4th District because there is no substitute for in-person dialogue. I was taken aback by the number of people I encountered who had not only never met their school board member, but didn't know their name. I was also surprised about their limited knowledge about what was happening in their own school systems. I assured them that if elected, I would be their voice and keep them informed about any issues concerning curriculum policies and funding that affected their children's education. It was extremely important for them that our school administration be transparent and accountable. So what should you expect from your school board member? First, they have the best interest of the students as a priority in providing quality education. Second, they should represent the citizens who elected them and make sure their voice is heard. Third, they should work with the administration, classroom teachers to achieve the best academic outcome for all students regardless of their abilities and provide the necessary tools for them to succeed. They should ensure that all board members are able to have respectful discussions about various issues, questions, concerns, ideas, and different viewpoints. All opinions are valid and worthy of discussion. Only open dialogue ensures transparency and accountability. We may not all agree, but in the end, majority rules. Thank you.
Your question, what do you see as the biggest challenge you see facing your school district and public education, and how would you tackle that challenge? And you have 90 seconds.
Okay. Some of the biggest challenges that I see in education today, number one, is teacher shortages. Teacher shortages are being handled by the state of Tennessee. They are trying to make adjustments, so they have passed some laws and funding to help solve that shortage problem. The school media in our school systems. I think that everyone realizes that our children today are having problems with school media. School media can be controlled to a certain point by school systems, but mostly that's a parent's concern. So I think it's totally up to the parents to take care of the social media problems and limit what their children can see on social media. Cell phones, I think we need to leave the cell phones at the door, pick them up on the way back out of the classroom. We need more parental involvement. My wife was a teacher for 40 years. She said that the best students who did the best were the ones who the parents were involved in their education. We need to emphasize core academics with less government intrusion in our school system. We need to teach more life skills. We have students, young adults, graduating from high school that can't go and do a job interview. They don't know how to dress. They don't know how to present themselves. They have to take someone with them to help them fill out the application, and some of them can't even sign their name. We need to return to a merit-based educational system and ensure that all students, irregardless of their abilities, have an equal opportunity to succeed, while realizing you cannot always achieve an equal outcome. Teach students how to think for themselves and not what to think.
Mr. Ray, since you are the only one here, you can continue. You have 90 seconds for a close, however you want to close.
Find my closing here. Tonight we have heard from all the candidates tonight. And so now it comes down to you need to decide which candidate has the beliefs, the values, and the vision for the education, for the future of the education of Lincoln County, who best aligns with your own values and beliefs and visions. There is no place for political agenda in our public schools, irregardless of their source. But school boards, because they are elected positions, have to be aware of and have to have a working knowledge of the political issues facing the public schools today. Not to promote them, but to prevent them from being implemented. You need to elect someone who is capable and willing to do the necessary research and who can devote the time required to keep you informed when these issues do arise. Parents, classroom teachers, and the taxpayers need to be a part of the decision-making process. No matter the outcome of this election, I will always continue to advocate for parental rights, more parent and classroom teacher involvement in the decision-making, and the transparency and accountability from our school administration. Only this will provide the best educational outcome for our students. Thank you.
Jimmy Daniel. Thank you, Mr. Daniel. Next is the District 5 School Board. Do we have either Judy Ashby or Brian Curtis here? Judy Ashby or Brian Curtis? Okay. So we will move on to District 6, I believe, correct? Yeah, District 6. So if you guys can come on down, and then we got 3 people. We'll take a bit of a break, we'll reset, and we'll be right back with you. We're good, Brian? Very good. All right, welcome back in. And what we've got now, we have 3 candidates up here, District 6 School Board. We have, and again, you heard us talk about how we draw the numbers, and I'm going to move one number out of the way. All right, very good. We have 3 candidates, Lisa Glennon, Jennifer Haynes, and Richard Phelps. And again, using the format like we've had on the, each candidate gets 2 minutes for an introduction and then the draw. Lisa Glennon is first, and again, these are 2 minutes on the introduction. So, Ms. Glennon.
I am Lisa Glennon. I was from Jacksonville, Florida, moved up here in 2023, and I love this community. And what I loved about it so much was the children who were in high school were so pleasant and so knowledgeable about things. So I decided to go to a meeting with the Republican Party, and I wound up being asked if I would consider running, and I said yes. And the reason I'm running is because I believe in the future of our students and the future of our parents. The one thing I felt like we got out of COVID was we now know what our children were being taught. And most of us didn't like what all we received. And I don't ever want us to see that again. So I'm actually wanting to see some transparency in these school systems so that our children, I don't care what age they are learning what they need to learn to have the life skills that once they leave those doors, they can go out and lead full productive lives. And I do have some thoughts about in the future what I'd like to see those schools do, but for right now, I think the best thing for them is to just try to get these students educated and not just let them show them out the doors. And that's about me.
Next on the introduction is Richard Phelps.
Yeah, before I start, I want to thank Reagan and Sophia and Abby and Becca for being here. There's some girls I've been mentoring, so thank you. I'm here because I feel like I'm called to do this by God. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. I can do it without his strength. I'm here because I care about our youth, teachers, and taxpayers in Lincoln County. I will not compromise my faith, and my integrity is not for sale. I lost my father in a car accident at 4 years old. I know I can reach other people that some of these candidates cannot reach because they do not know what it's like to grow up in a house without a mentor. So this is personal for me. I want to be a mentor and encourage kids to believe in themselves and set their goals and dreams, and not set their goals and dreams too low, because that's exactly what I did. I want every child that comes through that door to be successful. Teachers play an important role in helping mold our children, especially kids like me who are looking for mentors. I had many teachers give me the best vote of confidence in 4 tiny words: I believe in you. I graduated from Lincoln County in 1997. I took a path less traveled. I've always wanted to help others, and I started out as an EMT and a volunteer fireman. I took a management job at Walmart, and I was climbing the corporate ladder when a restructure happened, eliminating my position. I started back to school at 28 years old and determined to succeed. I realized that dream when I graduated with my degree in mechanical engineering from the University of Alabama in Knoxville. I'm now living my dreams of designing spaceflight hardware. I share my love of space each year with 3rd grade class at Unity. I simply just want to give back and inspire youth. I'm not an educator, and I may not have all the answers tonight. However, as an engineer in the space industry, we build and do things that have never been done before. So knowing how to gather facts and find information to make the best decision possible is a strength of mine. And I will always safeguard each and every decision made for our children, teachers, and taxpayers in Lincoln County. Thank you.
Next, Jennifer Haynes.
Hi, I want to thank everybody who came out tonight. I know it's a hot Thursday night and you probably have other things, but it means a lot to have you all here and to support us. I'm Jennifer Wyatt Haynes, and I am married to Pat Haynes. I have a daughter, Angie, and 2 grandchildren. I am a 3rd generation teacher. I taught school for over 32 years. I was a special education teacher and a guidance counselor. So I have been there, and I have seen what these children go through every day. I have seen what these teachers experience. I've seen how much time and effort and how much of their own income that they put in to doing this. It has been my privilege and honor to be on our school board and to be there and to do what I think is in the best interest of our students. I do not sit quietly. I stand up for what I believe in, and I believe that we need to continue to have other areas of extracurricular activities for our other students that don't have anything. I believe in the arts. I believe that we should have more choir, more theater, and I believe that we should have other areas that these children have not had, and we need to have them in our feeder schools. We need to also encourage more arts. We have managed to get another art teacher in our school system. We have so many children that have so many talents, but they have not been able to show those. So I believe that we should teach to the whole child. That means to teach them academically, to physically to help them, to morally help them, and mentally. We do have a lot of responsibility for the parents to do what they should do at home, but there are a lot of parents that don't get to do that. For their work schedules or for whatever reason, we have a lot of children that are left alone, and they need our help with the public school systems today.
So this is the first time we've had three candidates up here, so let me just give you one footnote on this. So we'll have a question, we're gonna have three questions. Obviously, everybody answers the question, but we will only do one rebuttal per question. Everybody will have an opportunity to do a rebuttal, but not all three will not do, or the other two will not do a rebuttal. So I have one rebuttal, so I just want to make that clear. All right, first question is for candidate one, that would be Ms. Glenn. Tax rates in Fayetteville, Lincoln County are not voted on by the Board of Education. Instead, the Lincoln County Commission and the Board of Mayor and Aldermen make those decisions. However, Lincoln County schools do receive a portion of the money. Planning and setting a budget is one of the duties of a school board member. How will you prioritize making certain public funds are used by the school system in a way that leads to student success? And let me just add, this won't count against your time. That's a long question. We have three people. If you need me to repeat the question, just tell me and I'll repeat the question. So with that, Ms. Glenn.
So one of the things that I saw when I went to a board meeting was had to do with the tax hike. And I had just gotten here and was under the impression that both the school board and the county commissioners both voted. I quickly learned that that is not the case. School board gives their percentage and the county commissioners match it. I'm not quite sure why we have a $39.5 million budget. It is something, it is one of the plans that I have to have it looked at when we get in there. I am very, very, very transparent on budgets. I want to make sure that our taxpayers here know exactly what you're getting your money for. We've got schools being built, and I'm hearing, and I still have the news, I'm still trying to learn my area here, but some of these schools I hear are just not getting built, or they got built and stopped and started. So I'm not quite sure why we have such a large budget. I know that, and I'm probably going to get a lot of booze for this, but our superintendent makes more than my sheriff. And with that, there's something wrong. Our sheriff should be making as much, if not more. And that's just my opinion on that, but that's as far as I know for that. That's my biggest thing is the budget.
Richard Phelps.
Yeah, I guess one of the things that God's blessed me with is I got to run a $2.1 million business, and it was one of the top stores in the Southeast. So managing money is a strength of mine. Look, our schools need funding. I mean, we want to talk about the bad things, but there's a lot of things our schools do right. Like this robotics program that Miss LeBlanc has. I had a fourth grader teaching me block programming. So that's amazing. And I think more people need to know about it, and they need to hear about the good things we do. But manage a budget's hard, because you have to make hard decisions. And when you're doing that and you're affecting people's money, it can turn into something that, you stay awake at night. But as a leader, you have to make those decisions, and you have to make sure that we allocate the money where it needs to go, and everybody gets a fair share of the pie.
Lisa Glennon. I'm sorry. Jennifer Haynes, I'm sorry. Jennifer.
That's okay, thank you. We have a budget of around approximately $39,000 here for our school system. And I do think that is one area that is done extremely well. You have to understand, we have not only funds that come from the local, from the state, and then the federal. And that is another reason for why it's important to have our public schools. Because if we have those people that cut those funds because of vouchers into our school, if money goes toward that, then we lose a lot of our programs that these students so desperately need. So yes, it is important to do that, but as far as the new school, the money that was budgeted for that school, you have to understand that 22% of that money must go to the city school system. So this year, we had $40,000 that we were allocated for that, but we had, $40 million, and then we had $8 million that had to go to the city, which left us with $27 million for the school, but we still have enough money left to renovate the rest of the school. So if you don't understand the dynamics of this or the finances, please ask someone about it, because it is there in black and white where that money is spent and what it's spent for.
Now, Ms. Glennon, you have 30 seconds on a rebuttal.
Well, I'm sure the classes that, like you said, the robotic classes, those kind of classes amaze me. I think they're the future for our kids. I would also like to see our children in high school, our students in high school, do a program we used to have. It's called DECA. It's where kids would go to school for like the first 3 hours, and then they would go to a business, and they would get employment there. It counted towards their grade. They had to show up. They got paid, and most of those kids had a job when they went out of high school. So that's kind of what I'd like to see happen out of that with our budget.
Second question, and we'll begin with Mr. Phelps on this one. The school board has 4 major responsibilities, including setting and adopting plans and policies, adopting a budget, approving curriculum, and employing and evaluating the director of schools. What do you see as the primary work of the Board of Education, and why?
Well, our superintendent is the one employee we have, and I've been a leader before, and you have to evaluate what they do, and you can't meddle in everyday operations. You have to let them do their job, but at the same time, you have to hold them accountable. And there's a right way and respectful way to do that. I've had the management experience. I always believe in what Sam Walton taught, and that's respect for the individual. And no matter if you have a disagreement with somebody, you can still respect their opinion and make sure that they understand that we just disagree on this, but I still love you and I still respect you. But at the same time, we have to, if there is a problem, we have to make sure that we hear it from our teachers or whatever. We have to make sure it's addressed. They're tired. They want to know somebody has their back, and I will have their back.
Ms. Haynes.
Well, as I said, I've been on the school board for 8 years, and yes, I have had to evaluate our superintendent, and there are areas where we don't always agree on everything, but we do respect each other, and I do know that I can go and discuss these things with him and talk to him about the areas that I would like to see him improve on. And I would like to say that we have remained number 1 in our district around with 16 other counties for the last 8 years. So you have to say that our superintendent is doing something right with the help of our excellent teachers and our administrators.
Ms. Glennon. No, this is your response, and I can read the question again if you like. Okay. The school board has 4 major responsibilities, including setting and adopting plans and policies, adopting a budget and approving curriculum, and employing and evaluating the directors of schools. What do you see as the primary work of the Board of Education and why?
The primary for the Board of Education is to basically review the teachers and make sure we're hiring the best teachers we could possibly get for our students, to make sure that we are also including the parents and the students in any kind of issues that are going on in the school, including the curriculum. We've got a curriculum out there that was questionable, and these parents were not really talked about until a couple of days before one of the votes took. So we have to communicate with our parents. That's my biggest thing, is to make sure that our parents and our students are incorporated into the information that the teachers and our school boards and the faculty all know, because if parents don't know what's going on, then the kids can't be successful.
And Mr. Phelps, in this question, you get to rebuttal.
Yeah, I think transparency is key. When people don't have information, they think things that aren't true. So being transparent is very important to me. I've always done that. It's my management style. Try to be as upfront and tell people as much as they can, or I can. And when we give information, people feel like they're a part of it. And I think they want to feel like they're a part of this. And I will do what the people who elect me want me to do.
Third question, and we'll start with Jennifer Haynes on this one. Pardon?
I don't get to have.
No, we just have the one rebuttal on each, because there's three questions, three rebuttals, and one rebuttal on each question. So we are going to start with Jennifer Haynes here. What are some changes you think should be made on the state and local level regarding public education?
Well, first of all, you have to realize that we have state and federal guidelines that we must follow. There are state curriculums and state objectives that these teachers are held to. So they have to work very hard to make sure that they cover all of those things. I personally think that we put too much emphasis on testing, and I would like to see us allow the teachers to be freer, to be able to discuss more things and have more on-hands things with these children. One thing I would like to say about our curriculums, though, is that many times these curriculums are brought from the state, that are state approved, that they are merely mentioned as a possibility for us to go over. But that doesn't mean that the school chooses to do that. And I think that there has been a lot of misinformation given about that. I have talked to the teachers, the supervisors, and I can tell you without a doubt that there has never been any sort of curriculum that we were going to approve that was not brought to our attention. It was not allowed to do that. And I will say one thing, that before we can expect our students to follow the rules and to do the right thing and to have values, we as adults, we must set an example ourselves, and we must be a role model and not allow ourselves to put things out there that are not correct information, and also that is inappropriate and that will not be beneficial to our students and our teachers.
Lisa Glennon.
Well, I do agree with some of the stuff she said in the beginning. Our students during COVID, when they were coming to some of the school board meetings, were reading some of the most horrific things that they were being taught. And there wasn't a parent that I could see that ever applauded anybody that let their children read this kind of stuff. And I think in this kind of day and age, we need we need to have the parents' involvement to make sure that we're not that statistic down the road. All of this stuff coming in the media, all these kids and parents going in before the school board about bad things in the schools or in the books and stuff. Once upon a time, they were all sitting up here saying the same thing. Oh, not in my school. Oh, not in my school. Yes, it was. You just didn't know it. And thank God that COVID brought it forward.
Richard Phelps.
It's simple. Teachers, teachers, teachers. We're having a problem retaining and hiring teachers. And listen, I don't think that's just a Lincoln County problem. I think it's a statewide problem from the information that I've looked up. And we have to make sure that we're promoting from within, because the people that live here have buy-in, and they want to be here. They want to succeed. They want to teach our kids. I would not be sitting here if it wasn't for the teachers in my life. They're the most important commodity that we have, and we have to protect them. We have to make them feel important with every way we can, even if it's just little things. So the teachers are what we need to focus on, and they're the backbone of our schools. And then we need help from parents too. Parents need to do their job at home and make sure that they're helping, be role models for them. That's what I intend to do. You can reach me, you can touch me, you can call me. I will be here. Call me anytime. That's what I want to do. I want to be here and be an example for these kids.
And on this question, Jennifer Haynes gets the rebuttal.
Okay, I believe that for the last 8 years, that there have been many times that I have had parents that have contacted me and students about concerns. And I think that first and foremost, we must trust our teachers and our administrators that we have, and if there are questions that we have, we need to contact them. We need to check with them, because some of these issues that come up, these teachers have never been approached, have never been asked. And I think they would appreciate that, instead of just people out there just, spreading rumors about it.
Closing remarks, 90 seconds. 90 seconds on closing remarks. Lisa Glennon will lead us off on the closing remarks.
Well, first of all, I want to thank Laura and the Elk Valley Times. Mr. Scrooge, I want to thank you as well. I came here this evening expecting to be nervous and ninny. And this has been a great debate, or not a great forum. And I loved to be able to talk to the community. I've been knocking on doors, even with a broken ankle. I've been out knocking on doors and talking to my constituents. And they've told me they're tired. They're really tired of the school board. And it's not just these last few years. It's been an ongoing thing. And so I sat down with them and asked them, what do you want? What is it that you're wanting? And they said, there's just too many discrepancies of people on the board and other things that are going on. And they said, it's really got to stop. And I said, well, unfortunately, I haven't been here long enough to know all of that. But I do agree, we all have to keep things above board. I'm not going to say get into this, the nuts and bolts of it. But I think what at the end of the day is our teachers need to be paid well. I totally agree with that. Our students need to be held accountable. The school board needs to be held accountable, and the parents need to take the interest in their children so that they will be the productive students and the productive adults that they're raising. Thank you.
Richard Phelps.
Look, I have kids in the county school system, and I see firsthand what the issues are affecting our youth. I'm not here for the politics. I think politics have no place in our schools. I think people are tired of it and want to change. I'm not a yes man. I believe leaders who surround themselves with yes men want total control, and anyone that challenges their views are labeled as troublemakers. As a leader, I want to be surrounded by people who challenge me. You get the best ideas when people work as a team. We will never agree on everything, but we can disagree in a respectful way. I'm coming to this board with a fresh mindset, with no loyalties to anyone except the students, the teachers, and the people who elect me. I believe in servant leadership. I will be in our schools listening and learning. Our teachers are tired and want to know someone hears their concerns and listens to what they have to say. We're all in this together. We need help from the parents, teachers, students, and leadership to take our schools from good to elite. I spent over a decade mentoring youth, combining my love for sports and Jesus as a volunteer coach and youth leader at our church. However, I believe it's time for fresh ideas, dedicated leadership, and transparency. Every child deserves the same opportunity, regardless of social status or wealth. Our children deserve the best opportunities to learn and grow, and I'm committed to ensuring our schools provide just that. Join me in making a positive change for our community. I want to be a voice for the people who feel they have no voice. Together we can build a brighter future for our students. Let's do this together. Thank you.
And Jennifer Haynes gets the final word on the forum for District 6.
Yes, like I said, it's been a privilege and an honor for me to be on the school board for the last 8 years. I think anyone that knows me knows that I will do anything and everything that I can do, and not anything that would be detrimental or inappropriate for our students. I'd also like to say again that I think we need to start with ourselves, set a good example, be a good role model, and not start things that are not correct information, and also that are not to help our political our political state that we're in, and for them to try to do what is best for the interest of the students and the teachers, and to make a difference in the children's lives today.
And that's your District 6. You want to give them a hand? And again, as we have before, we'll reset. We'll be right back with you. Okay, welcome back to our candidate forum. And what we are going to do is Judy Ashby is here. Judy Ashby, along with Brian Curtis, running for District 5. Judy Ashby is here, so we're going to come back to District 5 for a second. So let's do we're doing 2 minutes on the introduction. 2 minutes, so 2 minutes on the introduction, if you like.
I'm Judy Ashby. I went to school down here in my earlier days, moved north, and came back, helped raise my granddaughter in Highland Run schools. Loved the school. They were really good with my granddaughter. I was very involved out there. But as the years have gone on, I'm kind of concerned about the education that the children seem to be having. That's that they seem to be more liberal. Can't count money back. I mean, it's Common Core. Whatever we've had for all this time is really concerning. And then this new sex thing, education thing that was brought up to our attention. A little bit concerned. I'm retired and I would like to make some kind of a difference toward the end here if I can. I'm not against anybody that's on the board now. Couldn't tell you anything about what they are other than I would like to see our kids get a good education. We need good teachers and they do need support. But I'm not going to trust any teacher or the board. If I'm the parent sitting out there, I believe that we need to know where the teacher's coming from and what they're trying to teach our children. And I think we need to be more, I've always been involved with my children. I wasn't a helicopter parent, but I was involved in what was going on. And I think that's where our parents have failed. We've sat back and let somebody else do it. And my thing is I want to make a difference. Hopefully it's not too late, but I would like to make some kind of a difference here. And hopefully I can say no when I need to say no and yes when I need to say yes, but I'm not a people pleaser. So unlike the guy that just said, I'm here for the people that's voting me in, for the parent and the children. But I'm not here at all for the people that are running this board.
So 90 seconds on the answer on this question is, what do you see as the biggest challenge facing the school district and public education now, and how would you challenge that? How would you tackle that challenge?
I know this probably sounds petty, but my thought is, I feel like our children have been used a lot in trying to get what we want in the community. I feel like if a parent says no to a tax rate increase, that they're looked at as if, you know, they're not a good parent, but everything that's out there is not what our children need. And I don't know about anybody else, but I'm starting to feel the crunch on the taxes. I'm starting to feel it at the grocery store, at the gas pump, and I think we need to work together and try to save some money and try to spend, instead of trying to spend every penny they give us. And that's my thought on it. I mean, I budget myself at home and I balance my budget at home. I don't spend more than I have. And I feel like we need to do the same thing. And if there's money we can give back, like the sheriff department did, we need to give it back. And that's all, just basically.
And you do have another 90 seconds to do a closing statement if you'd like to add anything else. So you have 90 seconds at your disposal for that.
Well, the guy that's running with me, he's really a good guy, and a vote for him would be just as good as a vote for me. He's conservative, and he has children in school. They're very involved in the community, and that's basically all I can say.
Very good. Judy Ashby, District 5, running for District 5 School Board. Thank you, Judy. And when we come back, we'll have the last, which will be the last school board slot we're talking about, which will be District 8, so we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back in, and we have one more slot here we're going to talk about, which is the District 8 School Board. The candidates are Carolyn Ellis, Deanna Daniel, and Tommy Stevenson. And Carolyn Ellis is the one who is RSVP'd and has come here that we have to speak about her candidacy for District 8. Okay, Ms. Ellis, you ready to go? You ready to go?
Yes.
All right, very good. You have 2 minutes for an introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you all for being here. Those of you that are left, my name's Carolyn Ellis, and I'm running for District 8 for chair in their school board. However, I stand before you today with a deep sense of gratitude toward a brighter future and to shape a better tomorrow for our school children. I'm also up here today as your only endorsed Republican candidate for School District 8. And I've had the privilege of trying to serve you so far, but I do believe that now's the time for fresh perspectives and renewed energy, and therefore I've had the difficult decision to withdraw from this race. I'm endorsing my esteemed opponent, Deanna Daniels, who can't be here tonight. She had to make a trip for her job. But she's a very good person, and I think that a lot of you here may know her. She's well known in this community. So I'm endorsing my esteemed opponent, Deanna Daniels, because I believe we share our vision for progress and prosperity. Their dedication to public service, her commitment to our community are commendable. By endorsing Deanna, I'm not closing any doors. On the contrary, I'm opening new ones. I will continue to work tirelessly behind the scenes, supporting our shared goals and as advocates for the causes we hold dear. And who knows, perhaps in the future, I will seek your support once again. In the meantime, I urge you to stand with Deanna. Together, we can build upon the foundation we've laid, create an even brighter future for our community. Thank you for your unwavering support, and I look forward to our continued journey together. Thank you.
So I had a question here, which was about your vision for education, but I think I want to change, in light of what you just said, I think I want to change that on the fly. So was this a hard decision for you? Can you bear down on that a little bit about why you decided to do this and endorse someone else in the race?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Awesome. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yes, it is, because I have been working with school district for most of my adult life. I've always enjoyed working with them. I've worked with teenagers and with the high school, and trust me, after that, nothing scares me. So I was really looking forward to working with the school board, but I really think that Deanna Daniels can do a great job, and so I fully endorse her.
All right, very good. Thank you, Ms. Ellis. Thank you very much. And again, that concludes our debate. Our forum. Very good. We're going to get John and Laura. Laura's going to help Ms. Ellis down, and then her and John can come back up here. So I'll talk for just a sec while they're doing that. One of the things I will point out, and I don't know for those of you who've been here the whole time, we heard the word respect a lot. And I'm just going to tell you, I've hosted debates and forums, which, we had to call 911. They turned into knockdown dragouts. This one did not. Very classy, people mentioning respect, and I think that's very important. And I will say this, so my dad ran for superintendent in Morgan County down in Alabama, so that's like Hartselle, Decatur, that kind of thing. And I remember I asked Dad about the decision he made when he ran. And there were some things that made him get in the race. And I said, Dad, that was a hard race. I mean, you got enough to do and run for superintendent. And he goes, I'll tell you what, son, and anytime he started a sentence out like that, that was my cue to listen to what he's about to say. He goes, sometimes you just got to make a decision and get in the current and go. So my point to that is, all these people that have been up here tonight, they made a decision to get in the current and go. And whether you like them or not, whether you agree with them or not, you have to respect their decision that they put themselves out there. And where John and Laura is, hey, I'll stand up here. Hey, I know y'all can invite anybody you want to do this, and thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm happy to do this. I'll come back anytime.
Greg Scrooge. Local media legend.
Let's go with that.
Is that close? No, local media icon.
Well, there's a story behind that.
There's a story behind
That
that.
happened with you.
I think I may have said
Can I tell the story?
Please.
Can I tell the story? Okay.
Yeah.
I have to.
Local media icon.
Okay. That's funny. Okay, so when John was at 96.9 down in Huntsville at Channel 19, we were their media partners. And so I was in there doing news for them one day. And I used to love to go do news for them one day because we got to hang out. And I'm just telling you, I'll deny I ever said this, and we're not live on radio, are we? Okay, the radio thing is more fun than the TV thing. I'm just telling you. So John said something about, you got to get me some Alabama football tickets. And I said, I don't have that kind of pull. I cannot get you Alabama football tickets. And John said, of course you can. You're a local media icon. And I went, oh, that's good. I love that. So it kind of became a thing. So you're the one that came up with that.
And you got a lot of mileage out of that. Greg Scrooge, my friend, and really a wonderful choice to have here tonight to do this. Thank you. You did a wonderful job, Greg. Great job. And Laura, I guess it's time for us to say goodnight.
Thank you all for coming out. We really do appreciate you. I will tell you, TV and radio is a whole lot more fun than newspaper. But we appreciate y'all, and we appreciate what y'all do for us in this community, and supporting us, and supporting John, and supporting TV news as well. So thank you.
One quick thing, and I failed to do this at the beginning, and Greg gave me a great big save on this. Vince Byer, let's give Vince a round of applause. He's a member of the Fayetteville Lincoln County Chamber of Commerce and works hard in that role. He also has a media company that he has operated here for several years, Fidelity Media, and we asked him to come tonight and provide a video record of this evening. We did not live stream it. We don't have the capabilities of doing a video stream. We're able to stream it on the radio. But we're going to, Vince is going to put all this together, and we will have links at elkvalleytimes.com and 1055witm.com, hopefully tomorrow, but in very, very short order. We'll have those up so you can go back and review that. We'll post it to social media so everyone will know where to go get it. And again, I appreciate so much all of your time and effort coming out in this hot weather. Have a good night.